Hey loves, it is Kendra here with the Prosperous Projector, and today I want to have a conversation with you about shifting gears in your business, and if you're feeling financially stagnant in your business, why it may now be the time for you to focus on shifting gears and looking at what needs to change. But before I get into that, I do want to remind you that the Prosperous Projector Paradigm Experience is currently open for enrollment. We are taking applications. If you haven't heard me speak about this over the past few weeks, this is a 12-month embodiment and personal power journey and business journey for projector entrepreneurs who are looking to align their energy as a projector with their skills, their unique gifts, as it pertains to their business, right? So you're ready to take your business to its next level, right? Maybe you're looking to get to your next income goal, or you're looking to, create a new system or new process in your business, or you're looking to really just feel more in tune with your business and having more clarity in your business. Then the PPP experience is where it's at, right? Maybe you're probably, feeling like, I can't keep up with this pace. I feel like I'm about to burn out. And you're really wanting to learn how to do business as a projector from a space of more ease, right? From a space of more flow and from a space of actually working with your energy and instead of against your energy. Maybe you feel like you have something really important to say. You have a mission that you want to bring forth in this world, and you're feeling like no one hears you and no one's listening to you, right? Or maybe you feel like that the only way to create or continue the success or the prosperity that you have is through continuing to work hard and to hustle, and you're done with this whole hustle idea. This is what the Prosperous Projector Paradigm Experience is all about. It's a 12-month long experience that is really about you embodying your truth, embodying what is important for you, embodying your unique energetic frequency so that you can connect and relate to your business in a way like you've never have before. So that is open right now. I'm going to leave links for you in the comments so you can go and fill out the application if this feels like something that you want to be a part of. So let's talk about our topic today. I want to talk about this because I feel like a lot of the times as entrepreneurs, well, here's what I'll say. I've noticed that on my own journey as an entrepreneur over the past 7 years, I have had moments in my business where I have instinctively known that I needed to shift gears. I instinctively knew that I needed to kind of, turn a different way or do something a little different in my business. But I allowed fear, or I allowed doubt, or I allowed what people would think, fear of judgment and criticism to stop me in my tracks. And when I did that, what typically happened is my income would also stagnate, right? The revenue that was coming in my business was stagnant because I was being stagnant. I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I'm not sure if I can do that. What will people think? All the stories that we make up in our mind. And so today during this conversation, I really want to begin to normalize this idea of shifting gears in your business. And I want you to understand that your business is not meant to be like this static thing that never changes. That your business is not supposed to look the same way that it looked from day one. Because here's the thing, you are the individual that is the energy and the source of your business, right? And as a human being, as an entrepreneur, you are evolving, you are growing, you are shifting, you're changing. And so as you shift and as you change, as you evolve, as you begin to learn more about yourself and your unique skills and your unique gifts, quite naturally, what you express through your business is going to want to change. Okay? And the faster that you can let yourself make that change, make that shift, then the faster you will, I won't say the faster, but the more consistent you can keep things moving in your business from a financial perspective, right? The more time we spend in our heads, mulling it over, thinking it over analyzing it, trying to, really talking ourselves out of it, the more we do that, the more time goes by, right? Where we're not doing anything, where our business is calling us to shift and to change, but we're not moving because we're afraid for whatever reason that is. So if you relate to this message today and you're like, man, things are feeling stagnant in my business, or maybe you're not there, but maybe you're like, wow, I really would love things to pick up in my business financially. I want you to really check yourself and ask yourself, where are you holding back? Where are you holding back? And I also want to share too that whenever you are shifting gears in your business, It's not about burning down the whole business and starting all over again, right? Like I hear people say that a lot in the online industry. I'm burning down my business and I'm completely, redoing everything. We don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? When we're shifting. What is important to understand that when you shift is that the core or the center of your business doesn't change, but it's your focus and the direction that you're going in your business that does change, right? So that doesn't mean that you're starting from scratch and you're just going to throw everything away in your business and start from scratch again. That's not what I'm saying. You're going to simply shift your focus and your direction. And so when you do this, when you can lean in and make these shifts, you can capitalize on your business strengths. Do you know what the strengths are in your business? Right? And a clue into that is looking at and knowing what your strengths are. Do you have full clarity on what your strengths are? Right? What your gifts are, what it is that you bring to the table, what you've grown into, what you've evolved into, what you are now able to share because of your own growth. Do you know what those things are? When you lean into shifting your direction or in your business, you're following your instincts, right? So many of you, like I know for me, I've had those moments where I instinctively knew, like, okay, I need to change this, I need to shift this, I need to focus here, I need to do this. I instinctively knew these things, but didn't trust my instincts. So are you in that position where you instinctively know that it is time for you to do something different, but you're not doing it, right? So it's so important to get yourself to a place to where you are able to follow and trust your instincts like this. You're able to move. Right? Being successful in business means you need to be able to move. Yes, there will be times when you need to sit and think and really pour over some things and contemplate, but then it comes time for you to move. When it's time for you to move, are you moving? Or are you questioning yourself? Or are you looking at what other people are doing and comparing yourself and then taking yourself out of the game? Right? When you make this shift in direction, it's also important when you lean into this, it's also important to pay attention to what insights are coming up, right? And being able to understand the insights that you're receiving. So if you're new to business, this may not, you may not resonate with this, but as I continue to work with clients, connect with people, and have these experiences where I am with individuals in my private space for, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, I see new realizations begin to emerge about what my audience needs, right? I begin to see it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like, okay, this individual came in to work with me and they thought that it was all about, making 10K a month, or they thought it was all about making 8K a month, or whatever it was. But really what is happening is they already have the things in place to do that, but they're getting in their way because of this particular mindset, because of this particular experience, because they don't understand how to actually use and navigate and express these gifts into the world. And so as you see these insights that come up in your business from working with clients, from having conversations with your audience, as you see these insights, you've got to be able to understand them and then interpret them. So really paying attention to what your audience is telling you. Right? What are they saying to you? And what are you feeling called, and what are you noticing that they're saying to you? So it's kind of like this this like back and forth, right? There are things wisdom that you instinctively know already, like, my audience thinks they want this, but really what they need is this. And then there's also you being open and receptive to what is showing up in your client sessions, to what's showing up when people, comment on your content, to what is showing up when you do a masterclass, right? What is the feedback you're receiving? What are the results that are showing up? And then questioning those results so that leads to insights that you receive within that you can then move with. And as you're making this shifts, in your business, you want to be leading with grace and empathy, not only for yourself, but for others. Right? One of the biggest fears I used to hold on to around making any kind of changes in my business is, what will people think, right? They're going to think that I'm not professional, or that I don't know what I'm doing if I make this shift, if I make that shift. And that is all just a plain lie, right? It's a lie that my mind wanted to tell me to keep me to play small. So what lies are you repeating to yourself? What stories are you repeating to yourself about the changes and the shifts that you want to be making in your business? What are they? recognize them. It's important to be aware of them. Otherwise, you walk around in your business operating from this unconscious state, taking actions that are fueled by these unconscious stories, and then getting frustrated because you're not seeing the result, or you're not getting the result, or things aren't moving the way that you want them to move, right? So when we're shifting these directions, it's not about just shifting for the sake of it, right? Like, oh, you know how, what do we call it? What is it called? Shiny object syndrome, right? Like, I'm sure you've heard of that. Like, I think that's probably like a made up term, but you get what it means, where you're constantly being bombarded with all these new things in business. And you're like, oh, I want to take that class. Oh, I want to read that book. Or, oh, this person's doing this. Oh, that person's doing that. And you feel like you need to do all the things because there's something inside of you that feels like it doesn't quite know enough, or it's not quite qualified enough yet to do this thing. And so then in that sense, we can be haphazard in the directions that we're shifting into. But truly shifting in your business when things feel stagnant is not about haphazardly shifting your directions like every few weeks, right? It's really about grounding in to what it is that you are feeling called, right? It's about being prepared. How do you prepare yourself? If you see someone that's just kind of like, and I think we've probably all done this at some point in our journeys, you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, right? Like, what's going to stick? Will this work? Will that work? Will this work? Will that work? But if there's a way to do that where you are looking at what you're receiving and going, okay, that didn't work so well. I want to change the direction. I want to change something about this. That didn't land like I thought. If you're doing it from that perspective and you're pulling in insights and you're pulling in some data from what you're doing, great. Because then you can make even more educated and more aligned decisions for how you want to move forward in your business. But if you're just throwing stuff out there hoping that something will stick, that is not a viable business direction for you to be moving in, right? Because in that vein, if you're just doing that, then that's where burnout comes in, right? Because you're on this treadmill doing all the things, hoping to get like this result that you're running towards, but you're not really moving anywhere because you don't have this focus or this intention. You're not pulling the insights from it. You're not pulling, the seeds or the goodness from what it is that you are putting out in the world to help you take more intentional action in the direction that will support you, right? So I want to give you some questions that I ask myself in these moments. I want to share them with you so that you can give yourself time to really think about your business, right? When you are making shifts, if you're feeling stagnant in your business right now, it's not time to panic, right? It's not time to be like, oh my God, this isn't working. This is time for you to sit down and give yourself some space and time to think, right? Think. And I don't think we don't give ourselves enough time with entrepreneurs to just sit and think about things, right? Let me sit and review and reflect and reassess where things are in my business. So a few questions to ask yourself to help get this process harder for you. Number one, what am I feeling called to expand in my business? What am I feeling called to expand in my business? Or what am I feeling called to grow in my business? Maybe there's a new offer that you want to put out and you just haven't done it because you feel like, it's not like anything else anyone's ever done, and you don't know if it's going to work. You've got some doubt around it. Maybe there's a new way that you want to show up in your business. Maybe you don't want to do videos no more, but you want to do more podcasting, or you want to do more emails versus the video, and you want to expand in that area. But again, maybe you're not giving yourself permission because you think you need to do it this one way. The next question is, what have I been avoiding that when I address it, it will make space for what really wants to be birthed through my business? So avoidance is a protection mechanism that, let's be real, like we're all human, we all do it at some point, right? There is something we know that needs to be addressed in our business, and we just avoid it because it feels uncomfortable. Maybe you're avoiding your finances. Maybe you're avoiding, your bookkeeping. Maybe you're avoiding looking at key metrics in your business. Maybe you're avoiding looking at, the growth that you've had with your email list, or the growth that you've had with your social media audience. Maybe you're avoiding team members who aren't showing up and providing you the support that you need, and you're avoiding that conversation, right? What are you avoiding? That when you address it, it will actually make space for the shift and the direction that the shift in direction that wants to take place. The next question is, what have I learned up to this point that I can bring forward? So when you take the time to sit and reflect and reassess and contemplate what you have learned, this is where the nuggets, right, those pearls of wisdom begin to show up. And when you take the time to do that and you see and sit down and say, oh, here's what I've learned, here's what I know to be true, it fuels your shift. It fuels the direction that you need to take. And from that space, you can do it with confidence. You can do it with this assurance about where you're going. You can do this with a level of certainty because you sat down and you harvested the value and the insights and the lessons that you've been learning along the way that get to then fuel this new direction that you want to take. The last question is, what do I sense as the best direction for my business and why? Right? And this is really putting you in tune with your intuition, with your inner self, with that higher, wiser part of you that knows all the answers already. So what do I sense as the best direction for my business and why? So write that question out and just free write. Like with this question here, I like to just free write. This isn't something that's supposed to come from the brain. This is a question that comes from the heart. So what do I sense as the best direction for my business and why? And you may be surprised at what comes up, right? And so then once you go through these questions, that's 4 questions, right, that you get to ask yourself. If you will go through those questions, carve out 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and be with yourself and ask yourself these questions and watch what comes up. Watch what comes through, right? And then it's about really leaning into your courage and taking bold action. So many times we get stuck up here because we're trying to figure out or know what the outcome is. And y'all, the outcome doesn't come, the results, the knowing doesn't come until you take the action. So we've got to, stop being afraid of it not working. So what if it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, then you have a piece of information that you then get to take in and figure out how to move in a different way. That is what business is about, right? Business is not this like linear growth path. You start here and you're going to end up here in 3 years. No. It is an up and down, maybe even a spiraling of growth that happens. And if you cannot be okay with some things not working out, then you're just going to be, torturing yourself throughout your whole career as an entrepreneur. Because that's what you're creative, right? You're birthing things into the world to help people, to help other individuals in the way that you can. And that takes some trial and error. It takes understanding what's working, what's not working, letting go of what's not working and leaning more into what is working. Okay. So pay attention to your instincts and what's coming up, back them with insights, and you receive these insights by spending time with the intuitive nudges that you're receiving, and then do a little research, right? Do some research to really back what you're feeling so that you can have some supported and physical evidence of what it is that you're feeling for yourself. So if you're feeling you wanting to go a certain direction in your business, and that's the instinct that you're receiving, question that, dive into it, be with it, and then go do some research and gather the evidence that, yes, this is what I get to do. And trust yourself, trust your instinct, trust your insights, all right? So I'm gonna leave you with that. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. What came up for you as we were having this conversation? What questions came up? You can leave them for me in the comments. And remember, Prosperous Projector Paradigm is currently accepting applications right now. So if you are a human design projector and you are wanting to be in a beautiful space with other ambitious, like-minded projector entrepreneurs who are ready to do the work of aligning to their design and expanding their businesses to the next level, then you want to be in this space and you want to be in the room. So I'll leave the link for the invitation page where you can go and read all the details. And then from there, you can fill out the application. All right. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.